Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here, but especially thanks to my fellow board member, Julie Matuzik, for being here. So we are gathering today to talk about and introduce a new grant-funded program that we believe will provide a full-time social worker to work with our emergency first responders. Laura Cardamone was a member of our board of trustees for a very short time in Clinton Township. But her day job was a clinical social worker. So every day she works with people and families that are facing difficulty in personal situations. She knew firsthand that social issues not only impact individuals and families, they can and do impact our community. Our police officers and firefighters do an incredible job protecting and serving this community. It's not uncommon to gather and celebrate their acts of heroism. Saving someone from a flood, solving crime, running into a fire, saving lives. But unfortunately, there's another element to the job. When social issues like poverty, hunger, insecure housing, substance abuse, domestic conflicts, and mental health conditions spill out into the community and prompt calls for an emergency response. These issues require time, they require resources, and quite frankly, it's often time that our officers don't have as they're heading out to another call. So Laura believed that having someone on the back end with the right training who can call, listen, make assessments, and hopefully ensure that individuals and families in crisis can receive the care they need by assessing resources that are often already available could have a measurable impact. We also believe that this program can provide the added bonus of freeing up officers to be able to do what they do best, protecting public safety. But we also know that once they've left the scene, someone will be available to follow up and provide assistance. That, I think, is somewhat of a load off the shoulders of our officers that I'm sure carry that burden of not being able to do as much as they wanted to do for them. So this was Laura's vision of having somebody who could do this type of work, who had the training, who has the experience to help after the fact, after the incident. Our township board bought into that. Our police department took the lead. CARE of Southeast Michigan said, we'd like to work with you on implementing this program. And Senator Gary Peters stepped up and said, this is something I'd like to go to bat for. And he secured a federal grant to make this happen. And so we are here to celebrate that and to make sure that we are all coming together to talk about the importance of this, the fact that it's been successful in so many cases, and the hope that it's going to help members of our community. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to our police chief to say a few words.
Thank you. My name is Dina Karinji, and I'm the Clinton Township Police Chief. This is an exciting day for us. And yes, we run into mental health crisis, substance abuse, domestic violence, sexual assault every day. Our officers are tremendous at responding, providing empathy and care to those individuals that are victims of crime. It's hard, however, once we respond, we do what we need to do, we provide resources to that individual, we are on to the next call. It's hard to do that follow-up until maybe we're called back to the scene for an additional issue. So knowing that we can't do everything ourselves, we reach out to some incredible people, incredible partners within the community, and invite them here to work with us on a daily basis. You know, the first initiative that we took in was about 4 years ago after I was sworn in as chief, was with Turning Point. And the women standing up here to my left are all part of organizations that do tremendous work, all behind the scenes. But we couldn't do what we do and provide the resources that we do to our citizens without them. First, I'd like to introduce Cindy. She's a victim advocate with Turning Point. She's also the chair of the Macomb Sexual Assault Response Team. Turning Point's mission, their organization's mission, is to empower survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. We're honored to have Cindy, who's an advocate for Turning Point. She works with us here at the department once a week, minimum, and she's instrumental in expanding our knowledge and our reach into the community to raise awareness of those programs and resources that are out there for victims. The partnerships are critical as we work together to have a positive impact on the community. The department needs these community partners to ensure we are using all of our resources to problem solve and to help people live their best lives. And we know that we can't do it alone. In addition to Cindy, our newest resource here at the department is the Department of Probation. Behind me is Michaela. She's a probation officer, and her supervisor, Dina. Michaela is going to be working here as well one day a week with us, again, to extend that community outreach. Some people kind of ask, what does the Department of Probation do on a daily basis? Their mission is similar to Cindy's at Turning Point and to ours, to protect the community, the rehabilitation and accountabilities of person on probation. They give people an opportunity to set new goals, examine current and past behaviors, make necessary changes to become productive members of society. Probation also provides an alternative to a jail sentence. Mental health support, where there is a need to address poor decision-making leading to criminal activity. Probation can also be very demanding. It includes requirements such as frequent reporting, drug and alcohol testing, restitution, community service, counseling, and a number of other steps that are involved in probation. But the probation officer is there to provide support. Cindy is there to provide support for individuals that find themselves struggling. And people need support to have a successful outcome. The purpose of probation is to increase public safety, reduce the crime in the community through the supervision of the offender. Our newest initiative with CARE and the social worker program is another thing that's very exciting. Learning about this grant that we had received was instrumental, and I admit we struggled a little bit on how we were going to implement that. But we reached out to our community partners, people who specialize in this type of work, and here we are today to share this with you. CARE of Southeast Michigan is another step in the direction of providing essential resources and support for the community. Having a full-time social worker here at the police department will provide those in need of resources to assist them in finding the right place, the right program for their specific need. From counseling, mental health intervention, substance abuse, from their peer recovery coaches to housing needs. Their mission is to strengthen resiliency in people and their communities through prevention, education, and services that improve the quality of life. Their vision is a healthy community informed about comprehensive behavioral health services aimed at reducing stigma, promoting recovery, and empowering people. I cannot think of better organizations to partner with moving forward. I'll share you with our mission from the police department, which coincides with all of this. Our mission of the Clinton Township Police Department is to ensure the safety and security of the public through strong community partnerships and excelling in policing. And I think that we are embarking down that road by partnering with these individuals. So I want to give them an opportunity to come up here and talk a little bit about their organization and what they can offer the community. So we'll start, Cindy, we can start with you.
Thank you, Chief. While Turning Point does provide comprehensive services to victims, survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking, we also have a systems change team, which is what I'm a part of, which is the sexual assault response team. It is a multidisciplinary team comprised of law enforcement, prosecution, military, victim advocates. There's a lot of other members that are core members to this team. And our goal is to look for the gaps in the system. And we want to be survivor-centered because we know that if survivors are falling through those gaps, so are offenders. So we're also offender-focused. So MDOC is at the table as well. We come together, we look for those gaps in the system, we try to close those. We can't do this work without having some sort of community collaboration in that so that we can all work together to not only better serve survivors, respond to their needs, and to keep our communities safe. You can find more information certainly about the SART team and about Turning Point by just going to turningpointmacomb.org. We do operate 24/7 on some of the programs, and like our medical forensic nurse examiner program is 24/7. We have a shelter and we have a hotline. So anybody can call those to find out a little bit more about information, just ask for resources. And that is our goal, to make sure that we are hooking up victim survivors with those resources and getting them to where they can have their autonomy back and their power and control back.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Cindy, so much. And now, Dominique, I'd like to introduce who's from CARE of Southeast Michigan.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dominique Schroeder from CARE of Southeastern Michigan. I just want to thank the leadership of Clayton Township and the police department for inviting us to participate in this partnership. We're very, very excited to support the partners that are existing at the police department now and bring a social worker in. Our agency thrives in working within the community with existing community resources and partners. We like being able to work with interdisciplinary teams. It's a more meaningful approach to solving those very, very complex social problems. So we expect to have some great success with this and linking people who come into the police, their presence, whether it's via phone call that police are getting called out, or we just know that something is going on in a certain area, to be able to go out and engage that person so that we can reduce recidivism and help the community thrive and be really just their best version of themselves. So I'd like to thank just again, Chief.
Thank you. Thank you so much. There's so much work that people do behind the scenes, and as someone who was law enforcement for 30 years, we don't even know all of the programs that are available out there. So collaborating and networking and opening up those lines of communication with all of the organizations in the county is just an incredible opportunity. And these women and their organizations just do tremendous work on a daily basis. It can be tireless and can be thankless, but they have a passion for it, and it comes out in their work every day. The administration at this department is 100% on board and is always looking for new ways to be innovative and to provide the best resources that we can for the community. The fire chief is here. He also shares that sentiment, and we've spoken to him with regards to the social worker program. It'll be available for referrals from the fire department when they come across somebody they feel could use a helpful hand, a follow-up. We'll encourage them to give that information over to our lieutenant from the Detective Bureau, and we'll get that person partnered up and see if we can't assist in any way that we can. Captain Capola, Captain Blake, Captain Susala behind me all share the same vision, and we hope that we can just continue to provide a safe community, professional resources, professionalism in law enforcement, and partnering with these organizations and to continue to be successful, to help other people be successful in their lives. And we're going to do that together. So again, thank you so much.
And Julie?
Julie.
Julie's going to wrap up.
Julie Matuzak, our trustee, would like to say a few words, and you can actually wrap us up if you'd like.
Wrap us up.
Very
I can
nice,
do that.
Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. I am very excited about this program. In too many communities, tragedy has occurred when police officers encounter folks who have physical disabilities, cognitive disabilities, are suffering through a mental health crisis. We have assembled a great team of community partners, adding a social worker to both help our police officers and help our community, makes our community a better place to live. And given the recent significant training that got us accreditation between the outstanding police department and fire department that we have, as well as our fabulous community partners, we think we can make a difference to residents in Clinton Township. So thank you all for coming.